Hi, and welcome to another What Binder Book Talk. I'm Mike Barltrop from whatbinder.com. Today's tome is a little bit of a different one. We're going to be taking a look at Baseball Field Guide, an in-depth illustrated guide to the complete rules of baseball. Now I know what you're thinking. Rule books? They're no fun. Baseball? That's no fun? Question mark? But here's the thing. Baseball can be a lot of fun. In a lot of cases, going to a baseball game is just an opportunity to sit beside your friends for 3 hours and chat. And when the conversation lulls, you can just look out onto the field and say, well, how about that? They can't pitch well today, or they're hitting pretty well, or that fielder doesn't know what he's doing at all. But to really make an impact when you are having those side discussions, or to enjoy baseball, you need to know the rules of the game. Now, the actual rules of baseball are a very complex manual with headings and subheadings written in legalese. It needs to be that way because this is a multi-billion-dollar sport where lots of money is on the line and everyone needs to know what to do precisely. But you don't need to know what to do precisely in those details. You just need to know what things mean. And this book is the perfect way to explain all of that to you. First off, there are pictures in this book. There are pictures of what all the fielding opportunities look like. There are pictures describing the sequences and how a half inning plays out. If you've never experienced baseball before, you can get into this book and enjoy it in a way that you wouldn't have been able to otherwise. If you don't know the difference between types of mitts, that's all there. This is essentially everything you need to know about baseball if you've never heard of it before, or if you think you're an expert on it, but you're really not. Because it's hard to be an expert on baseball. Sure, maybe you know what an infield fly is, and you probably understand what sort of things can advance a runner without anyone hitting. You also probably know how strike three can still get you to first base. I'm going to ask you something. I'm going to be serious with you right now. Can you tell me what a balk is? We know that a balk is when a pitcher is just, when there is, well, a balk is when you're balking around because, and you can't balk because that's a balk. Okay, so maybe we don't know what a balk is. And that is where this book comes in handy, because it will explain to you everything you need to know about balking. And that's just on these few pages. So for today's passage, we're going to look at the 19 ways to balk. Whether you're a book fan or a baseball enthusiast, you're going to get something out of this. Quick list. 19 ways to balk. 1. Interrupt his pitching motion. This is perhaps the most common way to balk, when a pitcher interrupts their motion. What's the motion? The page before has all of the sequences shown out in detailed illustrations. When you fail to come to a complete stop during the set position. 3. Fail to step towards and ahead of a throw. 4. Fail to have both hands on the ball once he's in the set position. 5. Pitch while his pivot foot is not touching the rubber. That's the little plate that pitchers step on. 6. Pitch while his head is not facing the batter. 7. Fake a throw to first base. Once you make a motion to throw towards first base, you have to complete it. You can't just be looking like you're going to throw and not throw. That's a balk. 8. Fake or complete a throw to an unoccupied base. Are you kidding? There's no one there. What were you thinking? 9. Make a pitching motion without completing the pitch. 10. Make a quick pitch. A pitcher must not pitch before the batter is ready. 11. Fake a pitch. 12. Drop the ball while on the rubber. 13. Disengage the rubber improperly. 14. Delay of game. Now this is a judgment call by the umpire. If he believes a pitcher is deliberately delaying the game, that's a balk. 15. Come to the set position twice. 16. Change from one pitching position to the other without disengaging. the rubber. 17. Using a tampered ball, unless the team at bat has chosen to accept the play that has ensued. So if you get a home run off that tampered ball, that's not a balk. But if you don't like what happens with that tampered ball, you better believe that's a balking. Balks can be caused by other players as well, not just the pitcher. 18. The catcher or other player tries to block a runner attempting to score from third base, if they are stealing home or during a squeeze play. 19. The catcher outside the catcher's box during an intentional walk. The catcher must be in his box at the beginning of a pitch out. Now when you hear that, you think, well, these rules are somewhat outdated, aren't they? Because baseball is different now. You don't need 4 balls to get someone on base. You can just say, off you go to first base, we're walking you, and the pitcher can save their arm. And that's true. This is an earlier version of the book, but there's still a lot to be gained from it because so many of the rules have not changed for well over 100 years. At the back, if you want to learn how to score, there's a sheet for that. Maybe you've seen people at ball games drawing little squares and triangles and writing down the letter K and drawing circles while they're watching. That's scoring a game. And if you've been wondering how to get into that, this book has it for you as well. So the question is, why have I brought today's tome before you? Why is the field guide to baseball so important? Well, over the last couple of years, we haven't been able to go to live baseball games. And that's a bit of a drag. In fact, the last game that I saw was in 2016, and it was a playoff game in the ALCS with the Toronto Blue Jays. I'd always wanted to go to a playoff game, and I didn't think I'd get the chance. And then I did, and it was magical. Unfortunately, because they started doing well, season tickets for the Blue Jays went from $100 a year to $800 a year, and all of a sudden, a little less affordable. But in that decade, when I was getting those $100 season tickets, I saw hundreds of baseball games and loved every moment. I was on the Jumbotron dozens of times and won enough contests to completely pay back my purchase price. So at the end of the day, baseball is important to me, it's important to my wife, and I love going there with my son. And someday, when the virus is gone, I hope to be able to take my daughter to a baseball game as well, and as a whole family, we'll have a great time. But to really appreciate baseball, and to really understand it, well, you have to know the rules. And if you want to know the rules, there's no better place to start than this. Baseball Field Guide, an in-depth illustrated guide to the complete rules of baseball. So that's our What Binder book talk for today. If you've read this book, or if you think maybe you want to read this book now that you've seen this book talk, please get into the comments and let's start a discussion. And if you want to see more of these, feel free to click all the things so you can like and subscribe to this video. It's appreciated. I'll see you all next Sunday, so keep reading. Be well.